19 times winner at the 24-hour race of Le Mans over the past 5 centuries. 13 times winner of the 24-hour of Nürburgring. 11 times winner of the Targa Florio. 2 times winner of the Rally Paris-Dakar. Whenever Porsche entered the series in motorsport, the competition had to fear for their chances to climb the uppermost steps of the podium. And yet, the name Porsche has never been written down in the chronicles of reigning manufacturer champions in the pinnacle of motorsport's Formula 1, until a rule change set for 2026 posed a golden opportunity, a chance to fulfill a 60-year-long slumbering dream to complete their collection of success in motorsport. However, a harsh wake-up broke their dream. In 1961, the gate to enter the top Formula category opened up for the first time for Porsche by the dictation for a reduction in the maximum engine capacity to Formula 2 standards by the FIA. This allowed them to modify their own already successful Formula 2 chassis to get a glimpse into the flow and mindset of the top open wheel category. Already in the second season of participation, their purpose-built 804 could clutch a victory in the French Grand Prix and further respectable results in the low number of races belonging to the championship back in the day. Unfortunately, to guarantee the future of the brand, a shift of focus and investments towards role-relevant aspects of the company was necessary, so the journey ended after this season already, preventing them to prove their lurking potential. On the 23rd October 1984, the world has its eyes set to a racetrack close to Estoril in Portugal.
He goes into the last series of bends and now into
where the battle between the two McLaren drivers Niki Lauda and Alain Prost takes place to decide which one will race the World Championship Cup to the firmament. However, behind the scenes, the true winners of this season was Porsche, that developed silently as a contractor the beating heart of the winning MP4-2 called race car that propelled its drivers to an undisputed face-to-face duel and let them collect 12 out of the 16 winning trophies in that season.
Stadium Grand Prix, he wins the World Championship of 1986.
Porsche, founded originally as an engineering contractor, was approached 3 years prior by McLaren TAC Racing to build them a custom-made engine, incorporating the promising turbocharging technology that made its first walking steps into the series just a few years ago. However, this technology was not new to Porsche themselves. They already dominated the Can-Am series 10 years before with the 917-30, which source of speed used this forced induction to create one of the most powerful race cars in history, and in several other projects alike since then. So they could use their knowledge to create a marvel of a powertrain, an engine that was more drivable, more reliable, and at the same time more fuel efficient than the competition for the next few years. These years also saw an ever-growing excess of power among the manufacturers to the point that the governing body had to first strangle the engines for the thirst of air, and then outright ban them by the 1989 season out of safety concerns for the drivers strapped to uncontrollable rockets. As a consequence, the engine manufacturing deal with Porsche was terminated and they left the scene once again. This time, however, they left a legacy behind. 3 construction world championship titles connected to their engine and a name that will echo through Formula 1 history. The half-hearted engine supply in 1991 to an ill-financed, ill-prepared and scandal-surrounded footwork team, we better forget at this place. Fast forwarding close to a quarter of a century to the future, we arrive in the early 2010s. The world changed. The public opinion demand for more sustainability throughout our society, including racing. The participating manufacturers fear for their reputation and want to incorporate more road relevance to be able to justify their increasing motorsport budgets under the label advertising. such, the Formula 1 Commission agrees 2011 on a new powertrain rule set for the season 2014 with the incorporation of hybrid assist and the return to turbocharging.
No longer just an engine, the power units combine turbocharged V6 internal combustion engines.
Porsche at that time was preoccupied with their own return to endurance racing in the LMP1 category, with the 919 leading to another story of success. However, behind the gates of Weissach, history repeated itself and Porsche has been tasked again as contractor to create a proof of concept for a Formula 1 engine according to the new rule set. The client this time is no other than the corporate mother VW, looking into future motorsport possibilities for Porsche's sister-in-law Audi. In the end, however, nothing but rumors emerged from this idea and the project came to an anonymous closure. But the knowledge gained remained in the company's conscience.
The hybrid system of the 919 hybrid is made up of 3 main components.
Regardless, this is not the end of the story. Together with other work done behind closed doors to improve the powertrain of their 919 race car, a spark has lit a dime flame in the management and the dream of their own return to Formula 1 emerged. As such, Porsche participated actively in the technical committee for the upcoming next Formula 1 engine iteration in 2018 and again in 2022, after the COVID pandemic postponed the engine introduction by several years to 2026. The discussions were promising, with a simplification of the powertrain, introduction of more standardized parts, financial concessions for new suppliers and an increased focus on sustainability. As a matter of fact, it was so promising that the dime flame inside Porsche ignited a firestorm of pride, passion and confidence to enter the world of Formula 1 once again. Being only a contractual engine supplier was not enough this time. Porsche aimed for more. They wanted to make their dream to come true, their name to be shown to the world and written down in the chronicles of Formula 1 as a manufacturer.
There's sure to be a few stiff necks this evening.
Still, a Formula 1 team cannot be started anymore from an empty shed, so Porsche had to look for a suitable partner that was already on the starting grid, had potential to success and was willing for a new deal. There were not many that fitted that bill, namely there were only 2 options. Red Bull Racing, who has formally split up with Honda Powertrains a season before, and the Swiss-based Sauber F1 team, whose name-giving sponsor Alfa Romeo declared to part ways by 2023. Unfortunately, the latter has already a deal set up with the friendly rival Audi, meaning it was already out of contention. So, Red Bull it was then. A successful team with high potential, talented drivers and an aerodynamic genius in its leading role. Discussions started and went very well. Porsche already prepared the signing of the financing for the management board of VW for a 50% share of the Red Bull Racing team, ordered the celebration champagne bottles, and ended then abruptly in a bad manner. What happens when 2 unstoppable opposing forces clash? A philosophical question indeed. Both Porsche and Red Bull are companies with a high pride in their own work and name. Neither one has come so far by giving in to half-cooked compromises. So they shared opposing ideas, what they expected out of this relationship and what their respective responsibility would be. One wanted a financial sponsor which gave them the necessary freedom, and the other wanted to take over a decisive and leading role in the team. It is unknown who has ended the talks, but what is known is that Porsche is left with no more options for partners they seem worthy to enter Formula 1. Decades of success in all forms of automotive motorsport, a first quite successful glimpse into Formula 1 in the early 60s, a legendary powertrain in the fearsome turbo era of Formula 1, a dream to enter Formula 1 again after 60 years by a new, suitable engine rule set and the agreement of the corporate management. Everything looked perfect, and yet here we are, witnessing a heap of shattered pieces of a broken dream. But you know what they say about legends, they never die.